guys, welcome to a special episode from GotGameTesters about THANKSGAMING. Yeah, for the Thanksgiving season, we decided to take I made a small list of games that, that I'm thankful for. That's about it. So anyway, why don't we go ahead and get started? The first game is kind of an odd reason why I even picked this, so bear with me. I picked the game Raw, and I'm thankful for this game because lots of times my friends will kind of get demoralized, if you will, about playing games with me because sometimes I'll win, game after game after game. I don't know if it's just luck, but sometimes it happens and then they start, getting bummed down. They don't want to play games with me anymore. So then I say, don't worry guys, let's play Raw. And they're like, what's Raw? And it's like, it's a game that I always lose at, and I don't purposely lose. I'm just really, really bad at this game. Now, there's other games that I have, like Power Grid, Modern Art, so on and so forth, from Ryan Knizia. So this isn't my only one from him, and it's not his style of games. It's just this one, and I have no idea why. Every time I try to pick what's my best option, when should I bid, and when should I not bid, and that kind of thing, I always make the wrong move. And not only that, I just really have no idea what's the best option for me anyway. So that's why I picked Raw. Game number one that I'm thankful for. The next game that I picked is a game I'm thankful for simply because I like to bring people into the hobby, so I have more people to play with and such. And so I chose Ticket to Ride. I can't remember the name. Anyway, I picked Ticket to Ride. I don't really like Ticket to Ride a whole lot. I'd actually prefer to play Expedite, which is kind of the same thing, just with planes, and there's no shafting each other. It's just sharing points, if you will. So, Ticket to Ride, and I guess Settlers Catan can go along with this. These are like the number one or number two gateway games of all time, basically, to get people into the hobby. Because it's super simple and it's easy. Everyone knows how to play it, so I'm not going to go into it. But I'm thankful for Ticket to Ride, only for the fact that it's brought more people into gaming. The next game that I'm thankful for, this might be a little sappy, is Guillotine, okay? I've played this game a lot that even the top's gone. It's just it's just an overused box. I need to get a new copy or something. But it still works. But Guillotine is a simple game where you're lopping off each other's heads. You're a bunch of executioners in the executioner's locker room trying to get bragging rights during the French Revolution. Anyway, trying to chop off people's heads if you haven't played the game. It's really fun and it's family friendly. And the reason why I'm thankful for this game is for two reasons. One, because after getting into the hobby, this is the first game that I introduced to my family, saying, hey, you know what, we should play more board games. And I pulled out this game, and I know it's a card game, but still, it suffices for its needs. And so everyone liked it. And second of all, might be the savvy part, but I picked it because it's the first game I ever played with my wife. So this is why I'm really thankful for Guillotine, for slowly introducing people as well into the gaming world, even though they're not going to be casual gamers even, let alone real gamers. So thankful for Guillotine. The next game is Three Dragon Ante. Now this is a small card game. Not a whole lot of people play this that I know of. The reason is that this isn't the game that introduced me to gaming. This is kind of like a prequel to that. Okay, this game I was walking through Barnes and Noble, or actually Borders. Yeah, when Borders used to exist. Anyway, Borders. I was walking through their store and I was looking through the Dungeons and Dragons books because back then I was a really big role player. Not so much anymore. I don't roleplay hardly ever, actually ever. And this game was on the shelf next to the Dungeons & Dragons books. Made sense. And I got really excited because on the back it said that you can actually introduce this into your role-playing and you can do gambling games and things like that. It'll actually affect their storyline. So I bought it and played it and loved it. And then showed it to all my friends and they all loved it. And they weren't even Dungeons & Dragons fans. And so this is kind of the stepping stone. Soon you'll see which game actually got me into the hobby, but this is Three Dragon Ante. The next game is got a better story to it. My first convention ever was Strategicon, okay, which is in LA, California, and it was the first one ever that I had gone to in the gaming hobby, and I went totally alone. None of my friends would go to the convention. I was the first one to do it. I thought, oh my gosh, gaming for 4 days straight, or whatever, and well, I went down there and didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I eventually walked to a table where they were having a tournament. I'd never played the game before, and I actually ended up winning the tournament in its entirety. And they gave me some store credits essentially at their little game area, game shop area. and I ended up actually buying the game, and that's Niagara. Now, a lot of people don't talk about this game too much, and I don't understand why, because it's a fantastic family-friendly game, and I don't mean family-friendly as in it's super dull and easy, that kind of family-friendly, like Phase 10, for example. I'm talking, it's really fun. You actually lay the box lid in the box on top of the table, and you lay the board across the box, and there's a part of the board that actually falls over to represent Niagara Falls. And the cool thing with this game is that it actually, you can put all these little clear discs where you move your canoes, and the whole purpose of the game is to get gems with your canoes, and the canoes can fall off the waterfall, and if you do, then you have to buy some more with those gems, but you're constantly trying to fight your way back up while not trying to get your gems stolen by other canoes. But the really cool mechanic is that you push these clear discs across the board, and somehow, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Thomas Leishing, I'm guessing, but Thomas, he made the board so that way every time you push the discs, at one point it forks out, and it always, no matter how you do it, will always push out in an alternating pattern. I thought that was the coolest thing. So anyway, really super fun, very thematic, and also got me super excited to have a great memory of my first convention. That's Niagara. So the last game I want to mention is actually the game that got me into the hobby. Now I have to premise with the fact that I see kind of a 50-50 split with people, that they either really like the game or they really hate the game, and that is Betrayal at House on the Hill. Now this is the first game I ever played with some actual hobbyists in the board gaming hobby, and they said that it's like, oh well, you're new, well why don't we pull out Betrayal? And that's all they said, Betrayal. And I was thinking, okay, sure, whatever. And they didn't tell me anything about it. And the minute I sat down to play, I was totally immersed in the storyline. I love the fact that it is a story type game. It's very theme. I mean, it's super heavy in theme. It's probably not the best haunted house game there is. I have yet to play Mansions of Madness, but I hear it's really good. But to me, this is the game that I'll never get rid of. I even have the first edition because immediately after I played it, I think, about a week or so later, I saw it in stores, and so I bought one. And this has got to be a great introductory game, especially during Halloween. And man, I can't say enough about this because of the fact that it brought me into the hobby. I'm not saying this is my favorite game of all time, but I'll never get rid of it, and hopefully it never wears out that I can't play it. Alright folks, well thanks for watching another episode. Hopefully you have lots of THANKSGAMING to talk about, so why don't you go ahead and leave some comments below where you just let us know what your favorite games are, or the games that you're most thankful for. Maybe they're not your favorite altogether. We didn't test any games, but we sure are thankful for them. Anyway, let us know in some comments below what games that you're thankful for, and we'll see you next time on another episode of GotGameTesters.